So after we've made a mistake and learned our lesson, now what happens? So that's what our episode 2 podcast is going to be about today. Thank you all so much for being here with me. For those of you who are interested in questions, Q&A, you can leave them in the chat box. We'll get to them towards the end for our next video. But let's talk about after we find ourselves in a position where we have made a mistake in our lives. This becomes a pivotal point of learning and growing through what we have found about ourselves. What have you found about yourself? In any mistake, the last mistake you made, what did you find out about you? Did you find out that you were resilient? Did you find out that you could, go through something like that? And how did it work for you? These stages make or break us. It's all about our choices. Now, this is a place in life we may find ourselves for the very first time, not knowing what to do, not knowing if we're going to make the right decision and what will happen. We may even make a decision and realize that we want to make a new decision. It's okay there too. So the mistakes can be small or huge, but some of us are going to learn these 3 things about ourselves. The first thing we're going to learn to question our reasoning. Before we make a decision, there's going to be a process to it. What was going on in our lives at the time we made the decision? Was it a good choice? Could there have been other choices? And what distracted us if it wasn't a good choice? Could it have been comfort, possibly a change, or an opportunity to spread our wings? Many people lose their selves and their self-confidence during this time, especially if it was something that happened to change life in a dramatic, dynamic way. Nonetheless, we learn a great deal at this stage about who we are. Because we got to remember, faith is what we expect to see towards the end result. But that end result will have some barriers and challenges in between the walk so that we will learn exactly what we need to learn. So we never will have to go back through that again. So be grateful for every scenario, because it's going to fulfill the entire billion-piece puzzle of our lives that made us greater. When it's all said and done, it'll all add up, everything. So faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet experienced or known about. So keep forward focused. That's how I had to do it. And we eventually find out what we need to know about who we are. So be very strong here. Number 2, when mistakes have been made and lessons have been learned, we're going to ask ourselves the question, what are we going to do now? Life simply becomes a guessing game to many. They begin to watch what others are doing in their lives and trying to compete and compare. They're trying to follow a crowd at this point, but then others will use the mistakes made to mount up like an ego. That's what I did. I used what was important to my journey and I left everything else behind. What did you do when you had to make that decision? How do you think it's going to play out for you later in life? Do you have any regrets? And if you do have regrets, what stood in the way of you moving into a new level of success? Why did you let that distraction distract you and stop you? Because when we answer these type of questions, we get to working on the failed attempt through the means of successful action. Now, this information is not about making the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's about learning you and what you don't yet know about who you are as your better version. But you need to, because in order to be that success and in order to pull yourself out of whatever mistake has been made, you are going to have to really sit down with yourself and work on the inner reflection of what the outer reflection is showing to the world. You're going to have to work on the inner reflection of what is going on within you. So this is episode number 2. We've made our mistakes, we've learned from them. What takeaways do we get from that mistake that we've learned? A lot of people look at success as just trying to be better than everything else or everyone else. It's not. It's about working on the inner version of you on a more consistent basis every single day, and then producing it in a positive and productive way in our society. That's what it's about. Success is not about that $1 million whatever. That's the mindset, the conditioning. That's the result of staying consistent. But the inner working of success is all about what you do and the choices you make. So you think about that, and I'm here if you need me. I am a leadership professional with morality as an emphasis. So our journey will be focused on that. We thank you all so much for being here tonight. You have a great, great rest of your day, and keep being successful. Thank you.